So now we're going to get into the what's happening. What's going on with these chin tucks, okay? They look weird, and they look goofy, and definitely you don't want to do it in front of anyone. And I'm already embarrassed that I'm doing this for you, and I'm videoing it, but I'll get over it. All right, but what's happening here? When we chuck the chin here, we are getting those vertebrae here to translate. They're translating on top of one another. So we're getting the vertebra do a number of movements. They flex, they extend, we laterally bend both ways, we do rotation, and we also translate. Translation is an important movement in the cervical spine. And so this chin tuck is getting those vertebrae to translate over one another. It's a very healthy movement for the spine. This is what's happening. Now, what else is happening? It's also taking the weight of your head off of these joints back in the back called facet joints, and it's transferring that weight forward to the vertebral bodies. 80% of the weight of your head should be on those vertebral bodies, 20% on these facet joints. If you can imagine, when we're doing this, the weight of my head being forward is creating a lot of pressure on these facet joints. And what happens when we put pressure on bones? Hypertrophy. Hypertrophy means they grow and they get big. And then we know that right in here is where the nerves come out of the spine. Now, around that space is that facet joint. And if that facet joint starts getting bigger, it's going to start pressing on that nerve. So then we can start having degenerative changes that affect the nerves coming out of the neck, tingling in the hands, things like that. So we're going to try to prevent that. So getting the head over the shoulders with that chin tuck, translating the vertebra, taking the pressure off of this facet joints. Then, in addition to that, we're taking tension off of these shortened and tight muscles, predominantly called the scalene muscles. We're giving them a little bit of a stretch here. It's feeling really good. But we're also then giving all these neck muscles back here a break. We're letting them relax, because as you can imagine, if I'm sitting like this, my head's forward, the weight's being distributed to the facet joints, and then these muscles here are like tight wires holding your head up all day long. They're stretched out and they're tight, creating what's called hypoxia, which is suffocation of these muscles, and in turn creating scar tissue. So this is what's happening. And when we know what's happening, it makes it sometimes a lot easier to do the exercises that make a profound change in our lives.